Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. Today I have set 76393 Harry Potter and Hermione Granger from Lego Harry Potter. This was a 2021 set. Pretty big piece count set, over 1,600 pieces in the set. Of course, you get 2 buildable minifigures. This was the only set really of its kind for Lego Harry Potter. Not sure if they intended at first to make more of these had it been more successful. I like the selection of Harry and Hermione here, and I'm excited to dive into it. Have a lot of the buildable creatures from Lego Harry Potter, which I think are nice, but I haven't really built before like a buildable minifigure, so excited to see how that build turns out. It looks pretty nice on the box, so I have a feeling that this might be an underrated set. And opening this set up, some of these numbered bags are like doubled up, so I counted 12 bags in total. Looks like the instructions here are broken out into 2 booklets, one per build, which I think is nice. And then you also get this additional bag with, I believe, a cape for Harry. So excited to begin building. All right, so one bag in, or bags one in, and we have the torso. It looks pretty like 1-to-1 against the box art, which is nice to see. Surprisingly complex build. Around the exterior, you get some of these larger dark gray pieces, but the shaping created underneath featured some pretty complex building techniques for a 10 plus set. Enjoying it a lot so far. Also realizing that there are no stickers in the set, only printed pieces, which is really great to see. So excited to keep on going. Probably won't do a recap of each bag that I do just because I don't want to be too repetitive, but excited to keep going with this build. All right, so here is Harry complete. And he looks pretty great. You get this huge cape fabric piece. It's kind of smooth on the underside and more textured on the showing side. The arms clip in through the cape, so if you wanted to take the cape off, you could, but you would need to disassemble the build a little bit and then put it back together. Don't think that would, be too hard. Head spins fully around, which, could make for some interesting positioning or storytelling. The wand here attaches to the hand. It's nice that it attaches by studs rather than having the hand need to kind of hold it and have it, fall over. So I like the stability that we see there, and it's a nice build for the wand with this round piece at the end. Arms can move up and down, and hands can turn side to side, so you get a good amount of flexibility there. The angling of the arm is the only thing that you can't change. That's a brick built to create this angle, so you can't have like a straight arm, but I think that that's fine and mirrors a minifigure nicely. And then the legs here can move fully 180 degrees, almost a fully 180 degrees. So you can have Harry kind of walking, and then you just need to adjust the torso a little bit to make sure that there's stability for standing when you do so. I think the Hermione build is going to be pretty similar to this one. So we'll get her built up and then give kind of my final thoughts. But very, very pleased with the way that this build turned out. And I think so far, this is a great set. All right, here we have the completed set with Hermione built next to Harry. Most of Hermione's build was similar to Harry in terms of the torso, legs, hands, virtually like the exact same, I believe. The main differences between these two builds, we of course see the cape on Harry, so Hermione doesn't have that. That said, one distinction is you do get the dual molded legs on Hermione built up, which I think is a nice touch and looks very similar to that distinction that you would see on the Hermione minifigure in contrast to Harry. The other main difference between these two builds is that Harry's head can turn just due to the style of his hair, and Hermione's cannot. The head is built to turn, but just due to the way that the hair is built coming down onto her torso in the back and on the front. You aren't able to turn her head, which I think is fine. I'd much rather, we get an accurate long hair than it not, look like Hermione. So I think that is a perfectly fine trade-off. Of course, her wand is also going to be different than Harry's. So we get this nice tan colored wand here with a very nice ornamentation on the end using this pumpkin piece. One detail that I realized while building this wand, which I really like that they included within the set, is within the build itself, they include a kind of rod piece, which initially when I was building Harry's wand, I presumed just had to do with the build itself, but now I'm realizing that actually references the core of the wands. So in Hermione's case, this trans purple piece there would reference dragon heartstring, which I think is a really nice detail. And then within Harry's wand, we see a red piece representing the phoenix feather from Fox as the core of Harry's wand. Detail here is more of just like a bold piece, so you can see the distinctions in the details for these wands. But I think that they do a good job of being a little more ornate than a minifigure wand would be, while also including that kind of ballpoint ending that we do see on the newer style of wands. You can stick them on the either hand, or have them off to the side if you prefer to pose your minifigure without wands. Similar to Harry, Hermione's arms do move up and down, as well as have some movement here within the legs if you want to position her to walk a little bit. So I think that is a nice touch. I'll probably have like a slight angle for their legs on display, but I think that they look, perfectly nice just standing up. The best part about Hermione is really going to be the detail that you get within her hair. Both of these figures have really fantastic detail all around the head, using a variety of different pieces and building techniques, and it was very satisfying to, kind of build it in chunks and cover up any gaps really across the head. Very, very nice detail work there. Does a good job replicating the hairpiece that we see for Hermione, but also I think going a little further in terms of the detail. And then I really think you also see that here on Harry. The detail on his hair is really, really nice and captures that kind of messy look very, very well. You can see his scar as well, just kind of peeking through there. As a duo here, I think they look really nice on display. In terms of this kind of style of set, there I think was some speculation after this set came out and maybe didn't sell super well that, we didn't get more sets like this, right? So we don't have a Ron buildable minifigure. If they, had done that, questions of whether that would have been like a solo release, or if you were to release like 2 more, would it have been like Ron and Draco or another character, or maybe get, some professors in this style. I feel pretty satisfied with just these 2. I think a whole army of all of the main minifigures built up in this scale is not really something that I feel like I'm missing out on. It was really cool to build these, and I'm glad I have them in my collection. They look really nice, but I think we do get, our main protagonist and our main female protagonist. Most people, it's no hate to Ron at all. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but I think that it does make sense that LEGO chose Hermione, both to have a female character and have kind of parity there, but also most people would probably list Hermione as a more favorite character in their kind of ranking than Ron. So I really like that we got her as well as Harry. Getting a lot more students would have diminishing returns, right? Torso, particularly for like a Gryffindor, would be exactly the same. Even with like another house, like if there was one made for Slytherin, it'd be nice, but it would be very a bit redundant. If they were to do any characters in this style again, I would really like to see maybe Dumbledore and McGonagall, or Dumbledore and Snape, getting professors, you know, with kind of like dress piece legs or just different kind of components going into the build. If they were ever to revisit this kind of style in the future, could be really nice. Like Dumbledore's, you know, beard piece, I think, in a kind of style like this could look really cool. But I don't really feel like I'm missing out on not having a ton of other Hogwarts students. I feel satisfied with this duo here. This set, of course, is retired. It came out in 2021, but given the piece count at, you know, nearly 1,700 pieces, it goes on the aftermarket at what would be a pretty reasonable price if it were just in store today, considering, you know, kind of 10 cent per piece, rough kind of price estimate. Most Bricklink listings, or even on like Amazon, is kind of comparable as of, you know, the making of this video in 2026 to getting this set at a pretty decent price. I don't remember exactly what I paid for this, but I believe it was definitely under like 150. So I think that you can still get like pretty good deals on this set. If you do like the look of it, I would highly recommend it. I think it's among the more underrated Harry Potter sets. It is something within the line that is unique. Lego has made similar kind of buildable minifigures for other themes, or, you know, for other kind of characters, but I really enjoyed this set, and I think it does hold kind of a unique place within the Lego Harry Potter lineup, which, you know, in a theme that has so many remakes, it is cool to get like a different kind of style for a set. That wraps up my thoughts on the Harry Potter and Hermione Granger set. Hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.